Hi, I'm Kenzie. Welcome back to my podcast. If you are just joining, welcome. Today we will be talking about my second Elmo's World VHS. It's called Elmo's World Babies, Dogs, and More. It includes 3 episode segments Babies, Dogs, and Life on the Farm. First, let's talk about babies. This first episode segment starts out with Elmo introducing himself, his world, and his goldfish Dorothy. He told the viewers to guess what he's thinking about today. He opened door to reveal some babies. That's what Elmo was thinking about. Babies. Then we saw some examples of babies. After that, Dorothy was seen babysitting. She had a question about babies. The question was, how do you play with a baby? Elmo went to ask Mr. Noodle's brother, Mr. Noodle. Shade opened to reveal him and Natasha, who was a baby herself. At first, Mr. Noodle's brother tried to get Natasha to play chess and baseball with him, which were too hard for a baby. Then Mr. Noodle's brother played peekaboo with Natasha. She knew how to play that. After that, Natasha grabbed Mr. Noodle's brother's nose. At that point, Dorothy wanted to ask someone else. We saw 3 kids playing with different babies in different ways. Then Elmo asked a baby. Afterwards, Dorothy told Elmo that ducks have babies. They're called ducklings. So Elmo had a question for us. How many ducklings are following Mommy Duck? The answer was 6 ducklings and 1 baby dinosaur. After that, Elmo wanted to know what does and doesn't have babies. Drawer was seen crying like a baby. Elmo asked him what would make Drawer him happy. Well, opening, of course. Then we saw some examples. Well, birthday cakes don't have babies, but a baby can have a birthday cake. School buses don't have babies, but there are a lot of kids. Lions have babies called cubs. Snuffleupaguses have babies. Snuffy was seen dressed as a baby. Afterwards, Elmo mentioned that all animals have babies. As a matter of fact, his friend Diamond visited a farm to pet some baby animals. Her dad and her baby brother Emmanuel came along too. They saw all kinds of baby animals, like lambs, calves, piglets, ducklings, chicks, goslings, fawns, foals, and kids. When they grow up, they turn into sheep, cows, pigs, ducks, chickens, geese, deer, horses, and goats. Impressive, huh? Anyway, Elmo wanted to learn more about babies. He did that by watching the Baby Channel on TV. On the Baby Channel, the lecture lady talked about knowing your baby by examining the parts, the mouth, what babies can do, and how they grow up into big kids and kids grow into grown-ups. And the fact that every grown-up started as a baby. Afterwards, Dorothy was imagining Elmo as a baby himself, as a baby duckling, and as a baby bird hatching out of its egg. After that, Elmo mentioned that everybody once was a baby. Speaking of which, Elmo wanted to show his home video he made with his camera. It showed Elmo's friends when they were babies, like Gordon, Maria, Big Bird, and Elmo himself. After watching the video, Dorothy was still seen babysitting. Elmo mentioned that he and Dorothy love babies. That's why Dorothy wanted to sing the baby song. So Elmo played the baby song on the piano to the tune of Jingle Bells. Then he, Dorothy, and the baby said goodbye. And that's how the episode ends. Now let's talk about dogs. The second episode segment starts out with Elmo introducing himself, his world, and his goldfish Dorothy. He told the viewers to guess what he's thinking about today. Everyone was barking, so Elmo opened door to reveal doggies. That's what Elmo was thinking about. Dogs. Then we saw some examples of dogs. After that, Dorothy had a question about dogs. The question was, how do you walk a dog? Elmo went to ask Mr. Noodle's brother, Mr. Noodle. Before Shade opened, it pretended to be a dog by itself by doing tricks. It sure was well trained. Then Shade opened to reveal Mr. Noodle's brother. It turned out Mr. Noodle's brother had a pretend dog which he loved. He tried to walk it, but it went under his legs. Then it cooperated. For a while. The pretend dog went under Mr. Noodle's brother's legs again. Then the pretend dog wouldn't go at all. Mr. Noodle's brother had to drag it until he fell. At that point, Dorothy wanted to ask someone else. We saw 3 kids walking different kinds of dogs. Then Elmo asked a baby. Afterwards, Elmo had a question for us. How many dogs are ice skating? The answer was 7 ice skating dogs and 1 ice skating seal. After some great counting, the dog had a question. He wanted to know who can and can't have a pet dog. So the dog and Elmo went to Drawer to find out. Well, a birthday cake can't have a pet dog, but a dog can have a birthday party. A ball can't have a pet dog, but a dog can play with a ball. A fire truck can't have a pet dog, but a dog can ride on a fire truck. A dog can't have a pet dog, but a person can have a pet dog. For example, Linda has Barkley. Afterwards, Mr. Noodle's brother was seen still walking his pretend dog. They were getting a lot of exercise. Then Elmo mentioned that his friend Casey got a puppy named Buddy. Casey loved Buddy, and vice versa. Dogs need a lot of love and exercise, you know. Elmo wanted to learn more about dogs. He did that by watching the dog channel on TV. The dogs wanted to watch too. On the dog channel, the lecture lady talked about how dogs have feelings just like people. Afterwards, Mr. Noodle's brother was seen still walking his pretend dog. Then Elmo wanted to learn even more about dogs. In fact, Elmo could talk to some dogs. Elmo learned that dogs have great noses for sniffing, they wag their tails when they are happy, and they have great hearing. In fact, the dogs heard a whistle, but Elmo heard nothing. Then Elmo asked if dogs have jobs. He opened door to reveal a police dog and a circus dog. Speaking of which, Dorothy was imagining Elmo as a circus dog, a dog who herds sheep, and a dog who pulls sleds. Great dogs and great dog jobs. After that, Elmo wanted to show his home video he made with his camera. It was called Telly Pretends to Be a Dog. After watching the video and telling TV to fetch, Elmo mentioned that he and Dorothy love dogs. That's why Dorothy wanted to sing the dog song. So Elmo played the dog song on the piano to the tune of Jingle Bells. Then he, Dorothy, and the dog said goodbye. And that's how the episode ends. Now let's talk about farms. This third episode segment starts out with Elmo introducing himself, his world, and his goldfish Dorothy. He told the viewers to guess what he's thinking about today. Everyone was making lots of farm animal noises. Elmo opened door to reveal Old MacDonald, his animals, and his food. That's what Elmo was thinking about, farms. Then we saw some examples of people working on farms. After that, Dorothy had a question about farms. The question was, what animals live on a farm? Elmo went to ask Mr. Noodle's brother, Mr. Noodle. Shade sounded like a rooster before it opened. Mr. Noodle's brother pretended to be an elephant and a monkey before pretending to be a chicken. Then real chickens entered the scene. They thought Mr. Noodle's brother was one. At that point, Dorothy wanted to ask someone else. We saw one girl pretending to be a pig, one boy pretending to be a duck, and one boy pretending to be a cow. Then Elmo asked a baby. Afterwards, Elmo had a question for us. How many roosters are driving tractors? 6 roosters were driving tractors, and 1 cow pretended to be a rooster driving a tractor. Then Old MacDonald entered the scene to tell Elmo that not only do they have animals on farms, they grow food too. That made Elmo wonder what does and doesn't grow on farms. Drawer sounded like a pig before it opened. Well, corn grows on farms in a cornfield. Birthday cakes don't grow on farms, but you can decorate them with farm animals. Pumpkins grow on farms in a pumpkin patch. Monsters don't grow on farms, but monsters can be farmers. Rosita and Telly were seen doing just that. Afterwards, Elmo mentioned that his friend Beth works on a farm. Every morning she gathers eggs from the chicken coop. Mr. Noodle's brother was seen still pretending to be a chicken. Elmo wanted to learn more about farms. He did that by watching the Farm Channel on TV. On the Farm Channel, we heard a story about a boy who wanted to be a farmer. Afterwards, Elmo mentioned that he would like to be a farmer too. Then Old MacDonald entered the scene looking tired. Well, a farmer's work is never done, you know. They have to chase the vegetables, milk the cows, and feed the pigs. Speaking of which, Dorothy was imagining Elmo feeding the pigs, driving a tractor, and growing corn. Elmo was high up. You see, there is lots of hard work on a farm. Elmo wanted to show his home video he made with his camera. It showed Oscar feeding his farm animals in his trash can. After watching the video, Elmo mentioned that he and Dorothy love farms. That's why Dorothy wanted to sing the farm song. So Elmo played the farm song on the piano to the tune of Old MacDonald Had a Farm. Well, he played for a little bit. Then Old MacDonald joined in by playing the piano himself. Then Elmo, Dorothy, and everyone else said goodbye. And that's how the episode ends. So yeah, that's Elmo's world. Babies, dogs, and more. If you would like to play again, just go back to the beginning of this episode. See you next time. Bye!